Want to know the 5 signs that you have hurt the narcissist. By the end of this video, you're going to know the 5 signs that you have hurt the narcissist. Hey there, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I'm an attorney, and I'm also a narcissist negotiation expert. And on this channel and in these videos, I actually give you tips and tricks and resources on the ways that you can successfully navigate and negotiate with narcissists. And what I want to do is I want to help you actually shift the dynamic so that you can actually become more powerful when you are dealing with narcissists. So I have actually dealt with them myself in my personal life, and that's why I'm on this mission. I'm on this crusade to help you so that you can deal with them in a more powerful way too. So whether you're dealing with them in a business situation or a divorce or whatever, I want to help you. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that now, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Okay, so the signs that you've actually hurt the narcissist. I know a lot of you are thinking, do they even get hurt? Well, they do. They're actually in pain all the time and they don't want you to know it. They're constantly trying to cover up the fact that they're in pain. They're layering on this false sense of confidence. They try to make it look like they're confident. They want you to believe that they are confident all the time. In a lot of ways, they've kind of fooled themselves. They've got this tiny little scared thing going on inside of themselves, and they don't want anyone to see it. And they're really, really afraid of being exposed at all times. And so how you really hurt them is by exposing them. And that's really, when you're going to negotiate with them, the biggest way that you can gain leverage with them. In a lot of ways, how you build your case for negotiating with them. You're sort of ethically manipulating the manipulator. Okay. So when you go to hurt them, or you're not trying to hurt them really in a lot of ways, but the signs that you have hurt them is really going to be all built around that and have you expose them in some way. Okay. So that's kind of what you're going to be looking at, because they've got this narcissistic injury that is within them. They've got this false self that they show the world at all times, because the real self is scared little child. And I tell people all the time that they really are way more afraid of you than you are of them. And that is the truth. Okay. I'm going to give you 5 signs. Of course, the worst sign I'm going to save for last. So you got to stay till the end. So number one is the narcissist withdraws from you and becomes cold and distant. So they become cold and distant, and they probably ghost you. The reason why they do that, of course, is because they want to regain control back over you again. So you've hurt them in some way. They want to get control back over you again. So they may ghost you. They may become cold and distant. They're looking to get control back over you again. They want you to go, oh, come on, come back. So they may withdraw from you. They may become cold and distant. They're looking to manipulate you back into the fold. So they may become cold and distant. So that's number 1. Number 2 is they may start making excuses for their bad behavior. So you may see them, start pushing off their bad behavior on someone else, lying, denying. That's their MO. You always see them, projecting and deflecting, lying and denying. That's what I always say, it's never their fault. So you might start seeing them do some of that, because if you start to expose them in some way, if you start to actually hurt them in some way, and you start to kind of get at them, they're almost like caged animals in some way. You kind of got them, you start to corner them, they're going to start to fight back a little bit. So that's a good sign that you've hurt them in some way. You're starting to get them when you start to see them fight back like that. Okay. And number 3 is kind of similar, instead of putting the blame on other people or making excuses for their bad behavior, now they're starting to put the blame on you. Now they're going to start going after you. When you start to see them kind of become unglued like that, and now they're starting to put the blame on you, you know that you're starting to hurt them in some way. You know that they're getting hurt in some way. And so now they're putting the blame on you. Because what's happened is they've been conditioning you, honestly, since the very first moment that you've been in a relationship with them, whether it's a business relationship or a personal relationship. Believe me, I know, because I was in a business relationship with a narcissist and I had it too. And they put you in these situations where they do condition you. And so you have to stop the retreat. If you're going to start to shift that dynamic, they're not going to like it. So they're going to start to have a little bit of a tantrum, at least early on, maybe a lot of a tantrum, at least early on. Okay. So that's number 3. When they start to have that narcissistic injury gets inflicted, you might start to see that narcissistic rage come flying out. When you start to see that rage come flying out, you gotta stand your ground. That's when you really start to want to go, oh God, no, I'm not gonna do this. But you gotta stand your ground. And so I want you to put in the comments right now, I will stand my ground. That in the comments right now, because I want you to remember to do that. I will stand my ground. The next thing is that they may accuse you of things, because now they're going to want to get at you. They know how to trigger you. They know how to get at you. So they're going to start to say things like, you are unsupportive. They want to make you feel guilty. They know how to get under your skin a lot of times. So they may start trying to manipulate you back into the fold. They may start to devalue you, criticize you. They're starting to become unglued. So this is number 4. And you can check out my video called The Collapse of the Narcissist. They're becoming unglued. They're starting to collapse. And that may be what happens when you really start to hurt that narcissist. Okay. So that's number 4. Number 5 is when you get into that full-on discard phase. When the discard phase is in full form, what happens with narcissists is you're either for them or against them. And if you are against them, then you become public enemy number 1. And then, they will try to isolate you from your friends and family. They may discard you completely without any explanation, or if they don't want you to discard them, then they start maybe stalking you, or they go into full-on meltdown mode, or they still trying to get you while they move on to some other form of supply. Maybe it's smear campaign, flying monkeys, new form of supply. They're in desperation mode at that point, trying to take you down, full on war. I mean, it's all sorts of things. But this is where you really got to stand your ground, because at the end of the day, they will move on to a different form of supply, because that is what they have to do. That's how they survive. And it will be some form of supply other than you eventually. Believe me, I know. I've seen it thousands of times. So those are the 5 signs that you have hurt the narcissist. If you agree with me, disagree with me, I would love to see your comments. And believe me, you will stand your ground, and you have written that already in the comments, I know. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that now. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you are dealing with a narcissist and you want to get going and you are starting to negotiate, grab my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet, 15 pages, free ebook. Many people have won their entire negotiations just on that. Totally free, all yours. winmynegotiation.com. Feel free to also join my free private Facebook group at Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. Remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video.